Because men value, again, generally, broadly speaking, you ask most men are going to tell you they value sexual purity. Now, the days of, again, unless you're highly religious, the days of, girl being a virgin, that's pretty much gone. And that's fine. Most men accept that.
I love her face.
This concept of men valuing sexual purity
is that odd? Is that I feel unusual?
Like it just reinforces. If we go back to the patriarchy, we won't go there. But I just feel that it reinforces. Yeah, like
what
this,
does it
like misogynistic concept.
But that's not misogynistic.
Okay, not misogynistic. I don't want to go to patriarchy, but it reinforces this like patriarchal dominance over women, where it's like men can go and do their thing, live their life, but like I need a pure woman that's like small, and it's this thing of like
that's what men are attracted to.
That is I
don't know if that's
but that
true.
doesn't change the woman.
Okay, let me ask a question.
And men, it's like I don't know that that's true necessarily. That's what men are attracted to.
We can ask the chat. Chat. One in the chat, if you prefer women with a low body count. One in the chat. Two in the chat. Just one in the chat if you'd prefer a woman with a low body count. It's going to take us a while to see it. But I mean, okay, you ask.
Yeah.
Look, you ask most men. No guy is going to say, gee, I really wish my girlfriend had slept with more men before she met me.
Maybe.
No guy.
More experience.
No guy. No.
Like,
no. No guy is going to say, I really wish she had fucked more guy.
This
Your
is such a
viewers are
biased
so
chat.
specific.
And I actually haven't heard this question. I think it's been literally, I haven't even heard this concept in 10 years.
10 years.
Or maybe like literally, it's been not 10 years.
What?
But it's
Wait,
been
what
long.
concept?
The concept of like a low body count. I haven't even thought about something like that in so long. And
Well,
I'm
I can
literally
tell you
like,
why.
who cares? And every guy that I've met in the past, like maybe 5 years, is literally no one's even asking me something like that, because
It doesn't
I'm not
change
gonna
who you
share
are.
that with them. If they're liking me,
Yeah.
they're liking me for what I am right now. That has nothing to do with it. And guess what? Like, I wouldn't respect them either. So
yes.
it's such a weird, I mean, I'm literally like, I don't care. I'm not asking them how many women they've slept with.
So you don't care?
No, it's like, it's a personal thing for me and who I choose to have sex with, but that other person, like, it's actually like none
So
of
the
their
past
business.
is the past?
No, whether I've slept with 2 people, 5 people, 10 people, like that, they might not even ever even know that, because a lot of like my last boyfriend, he would never ask me that in a million years. Never.
It's not so
never asked
much,
me that.
I don't think a lot of guys are going to overtly just be like, hey, how many, I mean, if we could go around the table, but most guys aren't going to overtly ask you that, but it's more so just like, say it's within a friend group, it's like reputational. Like, I don't know, guys don't want to marry the town bicycle. There, I said it.
I feel like it used to be the other way around.
The other way
Or
around?
at
What do you
least
mean?
when, because I agree that I feel like we're evolving beyond this being a thing, and we're kind of like the concept of women being sexually pure based on their body count, because our sexuality is pure no matter what, no matter how many people you've slept with. There's still an energy of purity there because it's sacred, and I feel like we're evolving beyond this concept, and to just like, continue it, it's perpetuating like a cycle that is unhealthy, I feel. But this concept, what was the last thing that you said? Because there was a point there.
Body count.
Body count.
Okay, so
there was something there.
So I would say that first off, everyone's free to have their own preferences. Some guys might not care. That's totally fine. Some guys do care about it. And there's certainly women that they also would care. And I don't think it would be wrong for a woman to say, I don't want a guy that's a player. I don't want a guy that slept with a lot of men. I do think it's a bit different, again, because there's a few different reasons, which I'm about to go into. But I can tell you a little bit as to why men do value sexual purity. So there's...
Oh, that's okay.
By the way, Samantha, we're just having a debate.
Yeah.
It's totally okay if you disagree. I don't feel any any
I guess I
bad-
just don't care to know. I
I
guess.
second that.
I don't know. I just don't care to know. Like, I really don't.
Sure.
You
So
know?
I'll try to just explain the guys, like how a lot of guys feel on this. And so there's a few things. So there's two biological evolutionary, well, okay, that's for a different thing. There's one. So it's an innate instinctual thing for men. And that's because as a woman, if you get pregnant, you know for a fact that child is yours. But for men, if a woman has slept with other men, you cannot guarantee paternity. If she's promiscuous, you cannot guarantee paternity. Now, I know in the past 40 years, we've figured out through DNA we can do paternity tests, but that doesn't undo hundreds of thousands of years of evolution and biology. And so men, if the woman is promiscuous, if she's sleeping with a lot of men, you cannot know who the father is. So that's a big thing, and that's evolutionary. That's hardwiring. So men can't just turn that off.
But most men don't have sex to procreate at a young age.
But it's not an intellectual thing. That thing. It's a biological thing. So we know we're not trying to get a woman pregnant, but it's in our biology, in our evolution.
I see what you're saying. I hear you.
Okay.
And it makes sense. And I think that also, like, speaking to that, I think there's another layer that's not being explored if a man is to use that to say, this is why I want them to have a low body count, but it's okay if my body count is high. I think there's some fear of women's sexual power that's going on, and if someone has like a higher body count, it's like, oh, she must be engaging with all these people, and that's scary. And to just say like, oh, it's because of my biological, evolutionary, etc., it feels like
That's
kind of
one reason.
a way out of it. It's
That's
like a
one
scapegoat.
reason. I'll give you some more reasons. So the other thing is that if someone is promiscuous and has slept with a lot of people, and I don't know why this doesn't come up more often in this discussion, in this debate, is sexually transmitted diseases. The more partners you've had, the higher likelihood that you have an STD, whether incurable or curable. I don't think it's insecure or anything for someone to be like, this person's kind of promiscuous, they've slept with a lot of people. There's a chance that they might have an STD. And some STDs, you can be asymptomatic. Some you don't know until you depends on which one, but you might not know down the road, but you could still be contagious. So I mean, just from the STD angle, if someone is promiscuous and sleeps with a lot of people, you're at a higher risk for STDs. Does anyone here want an STD?
An STI, I think I is like
Whatever.
eye infection.
Semantics.
No, and I think but that one goes both ways, like between men and women.
Of course.
And that's
of
why,
course, women can certainly say he slept, and
that's why getting tested is so important, and then talking about it openly.
Sure, but I mean, let's be honest. Like a lot of people, have you been tested after every single partner you've ever had and had a thorough? By the way, most people full panel. Like most people, they'll do gonorrhea, chlamydia, HIV. Honestly, there's not. I think for HPV, herpes, like the tests aren't even that good. I don't really know. That shit could show up down the road. So I think the STD one is a big one too.
That's fair.
For both men and women.
And if you
it's
test
common,
clear, then
sure,
you're good
but
to go.
it's common sense. Like if someone slept with 100 people, if you had to place a bet, the person that slept with 100 people is probably more likely to have an STD or have had an STD. And if you know they're sleeping around with other people, more likely to have an STD. So that's a big one for both men and women. So there's that.
It's valid for both men and women. Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't fault a woman if she was like, well, okay, that guy's a player. He's probably got, apparently in Isla Vista, there's like a special strain of gonorrhea going around.
Oh, God.
That's to this specific region. So